But Crockie does have that spear, which could counter those, so that's always fun.
Moving in, we're seeing a fairly even kind of neutral start to this game. 10 seconds in, Crockie with a little bit of lead on these, which is using the range on these guns very well. While Isidroo does kind of approach with the axe, trying to use those hitboxes to the best of his ability. Crockie, though, again, using that range on both of his weapons here to the best of his advantage.
That's right. Isidroo is doing really well with that axe right now, keeping a more grounded game, trying to have Crockie come to him so he can just punish any kind of floaty playstyle he's using.
And I mean, very even. Honestly, it's a very even game at the moment. Isidroo with that axe will get hit by Crockie's recovery, knocks the axe out of Isidroo's hands there, but Isidroo gonna quickly swap over to this lance. Crockie playing a very, very jumpy game here, knows those hitboxes with that lance can be large, knows they can be punishing, and knows on a lower defense Legend can be really good, and will wait for his opportunity to hit that side air. Falls by the weapon throw. We're gonna see another weapon throw down there, and then another weapon throw. Isidroo, does he have what it takes to get back? He does have the jump seat to get the wall touch.
Oh, but the neutral sig from Crockie takes down Isidroo's first stock. Crockie, even though they have 4 defense, they're doing very well. They have a nice advantage with only losing about half of their stock, being in the orange. A good few Sares, though, from Isidroo will take down Crockie's first stock, though, so he needs to be careful.
But you know, Crockie playing a really smart, really strong game at the moment as that side stick comes out from Isidroo. Crockie does come in there with a little bit of a quick punish. Isidroo switching out here to Lance. Will hits that recovery right there, knocking Crockie up and into the sky. Damage is fairly high on Crockie with that 4 defense. Isidroo not so far. A side air potentially away from getting a KO, but Crockie not having any of it, saying, you know what, I can have 4 defense. If you never hit me, you're never going to get it. But there we have the side lay into the recovery. And then the side air right there. Wow. Vicious no break for the KO, evening this game up. 2 stocks either way. Isidroo in that ochre, in that orange area. But, you know, and Crockie on that fresh stock, but Isidroo ready there, putting out damage, double nair in a row for some really, really good damage.
Crockie really can't seem to find any opportunities to use dares or any kind of blaster attacks in general with that lance. Isidroo's just all over him. The complete denial of the blasters. It is crazy to watch that. It looks like Crockie's making the comeback with the spear right now, trying to combat that lance.
Oh man, so close at the moment. There's a side air. I actually think it was a side light from Isidroo. Crockie in the red, and Isidroo giving fierce chase at the moment. But Crockie hits that side light, goes for the down line, but Isidroo dodges through it. The downers from Crockie. Brutal. 2 in a row, pogoing on top of Isidroo. Goes for the downlight. Will dodge through Isidroo's response, which is a neutral air. Isidroo having none of it. The damage is so high on both of these legends. I mean, both in the kill percentage. I would say Crockie a little bit more because Isidroo did go for that extra defense sense, but the sig hits, knocks Isidroo off to the left side of the screen for the KO. Gonna put Crockie in the lead, up a stock at the moment.
But Crockie is in the lead right now. You know, holding on to that stock as much as they can. So much attacks with Ada, and Isidroo really he has the opportunity to bring it back. Oh, that down sig he does. Holy moly!
That was incredibly timed right there. Knocks Crockie far out, and we have basically a match reset here. If you look at the damage, as Isidroo picks up a couple of hits on Crockie, really using this lance super effectively. But you know, Crockie again falling back, using the range on the spear. As well, kind of incredibly, goes in for those side lights, goes in, follows them up with side airs rather than, you know, the traditional downlight, and you know, every other one is connecting to Isidroo, racking out the damage. 2 pogos in a row. Isidroo in the orange, in the red, downlight into side air, does push Isidroo out to the side and push Isidroo into the red, and there's the sig for the KO. Takes it.
That takes down Isidroo's final stock. Holy moly, that was intense.
Oh my god, my heart. Gonna go.
We'll be okay.
No, I don't know that I will, but we're gonna go on to our next match. See what happens. Small Mammoth, you think? Or Shipwreck?
It's gonna be Mammoth. Surprised. But Isidroo switches to the Black Metadev Orion, and Crockie, of course, sticks to his legendary Ada.
Look at that extra defense pick out from that Orion. That does put Orion at, I believe, 7 defense, which is really, really high. and does give Isidroo a lot of survivability in this matchup.
Right off the bat, Isidroo going nuts with fear combos. I believe that was a D-Light into a gravity cancel there. A D-Light gravity cancel. My brain is just so from.
Crockie hits a side light. I understand. I'm with you there, my dude. Down light comes out. Isidroo hitting that side light, hits that side air, following it up, goes for the side air. Crockie recovers above. Crockie hits the side light. Crockie moving back, trying to bait out Isidroo right there. Isidroo, though, with the side stick gets punished, but the second side stick will hit Crockie, knocks his weapons out of him. Crockie coming up, gonna recover up top.
But Isidroo misses the gravity cancel and sig and does not punish from it. Crockie in a bit of a bad place right now. Whoever he's trying to get that recovery and kind of sig, it just doesn't work out for him. Crockie knows what to expect.
Did you see that back dodge out of that down sig? Crockie's back dodge out of Isidroo's down sig. That was insane right there.
Looked like it was. It really did. Like it didn't even look like he dodged.
It was that smooth. Smooth like butter, smooth like ice.
Ice, baby.
None of that here. But the damage is so high, and Isidroo goes for the side stick. Crockie recovers above it. Crockie on the edge here. Damage is so high. Both of them kind of in the percentage. Crockie dodges under the recovery.
Almost messed up.
Falling down, hits that unarmed recovery. Neck gets the KO knockout onto Isidroo. And then Crockie having the same turnaround with the recovery, but Isidroo gonna survive there. Not enough damage done to him for that to KO yet.
Drew needs to hold on to this stock as much as he can. He wants to go to shine.
Oh man, Crockie moving in, but Isidroo having none of it, doing a lot of damage right now with the spear, with these side lights, with the recoveries. With that down sig, Crockie will hits that down air, that neutral sig, grab cancel neutral sig from Isidroo.
Oh no, Isidroo. He got a little too greedy and lost that first stock because of it. Thankfully for him though, he does have a lot of room to work with. All he needs to do is maybe 1 or 2 more recoveries and Crockie's second stock will be gone.
Neutral air into recovery out from Crockie. Both will hit Isidroo. Knows he's 1 hit away from knocking Crockie out. Crockie knows this too, and Crockie's movement here shows that Crockie has a beautiful approach pattern. Really nice way to get in here. Side light into side air. Punish these side sticks that are coming out from Isidroo. Isidroo going for that finishing move, and that recovery nearly does it, but Crockie does survive. Down air, Isidroo does avoid.
It all comes down to this. Isidroo trying to find that Sare.
Oh, side air
twice in succession. Loses that second stock. Crockie, I mean. Isidroo has a lot of room to work with. Still orange on that second stock. He needs to weapon start Crockie as much as he can if he wants to continue having this advantage. Crockie doesn't really seem to have the greatest unarmed game from what we see. Trying to jump around, find the next weapon. Not really working out in his favor though. But he does find the weapon, so.
Super close though, when you consider that Isidroo is not that far in, but Isidroo hits that second grab cancel neutral sig, goes for a third one, but Crockie right there with the punish does KO Isidroo, brings it down 1-to-1 stocks. If Crockie takes this, that's gonna be it, I think, for our next game. Am I right?
I believe so, Toast. I believe so, my friend. It all comes down to this. This could potentially be match point right here.
This tournament, this top 8 is on the line right now for Isidroo. If Isidroo can take this, it will go to a best of 3, and we will see what happens. A nice weapon throw up. Crockie having none of it goes to the sig, but Isidroo right there with the neutral life to punish. 2 pogos, 3 pogos. Oh, nearly 4 pogos in a row. Down for the KO. Crockie will take game 2 and will advance to the top 8 after a fantastic set against Isidroo. Heck, that was incredible.